curious how you feel about this, extended, being able to really go into 13 episodes. And
I think it worked better as a series once we figured out, like, meeting with certain people. And to be honest, we started meeting with people who wanted to make this project a little younger. And I know it is kind of geared towards young adults, but once we met with Netflix and we knew what Brian was doing, and obviously Tom coming on board was such a privilege. So I was okay with it. I thought it was meant to be a series, but I mean,
the book reads as a series, and when we were trying to make it into a feature, the characters weren't being three-dimensional, so you couldn't really get the backstory on why the kids were treating, Hannah the way that they were, or each other. And so this gave us some more opportunity to expand, on the particular issues at hand.
And Selena, you initially, when it was going to be a movie, were going to play Hannah, right?
correct.
So
Yeah. Well, my mom found the book. So my mom spends hours in like Barnes and Nobles, which unfortunately is slowly not existing. But she would come home and she would find these books, and I was doing my TV series at the time, so I was maybe 16, 17, so it would have made sense. And I just believed in what it was. When I read the book, I thought that it was something that I could relate to, my fans in particular. I see it constantly from kids who are authentic and tell me what they feel and what they go through. And I mean, obviously, as the project went on, I can't picture anybody else being Hannah but Catherine. When you watch her on screen, she's just captivating. And she is Hannah. It just worked out the way it was supposed to. And I'm just glad I got to still watch it happen. So
I think we're so lucky that the two of you stuck with it. Because I think
we weren't gonna let it go.
and I think if I'm right, you guys had to fight for it a little bit. Like you had to go to jail. No. Although technically it should work.
Yeah.
I think once you start the series, the first few episodes are really captivating and kind of understanding of their relationship and what happened to Hannah, but it starts getting darker. I think that as it progresses, you just see a side of Clay when you see that he's this confused, sad, maybe a little bit shy, and it turns into this, without giving anything away, but it's just, you get to see these arcs, and I feel like it really allows people to take their time with it. I don't know, I watch things I'll sit there all day and watch it, so it's up to however people want to kind of speak.
Ideally, people will watch it over and over again and force other people to watch it as well.
Break Netflix.
Well, that's what we're hoping, right? I guess.
Yeah. And then read the book.
and then buy the new edition of the book.
Yes.
Yeah, the 10th anniversary.
With Dylan and Catherine on the cover, looking awesome.
I geeked out.
All right, well, I want to open it up to some questions. We have a few minutes. Yeah.
I don't have a microphone, so I'll speak loudly. Okay. This question is for Selena. I'm Chloe with CNN. My question for you is, do you or did you see yourself in the main character, when you were in high school, did you go through any, you were famous as a teen, so I don't know if you had any dark times that maybe you could relate to, but could you relate to her? And why do you think that this show is important right now?
I think that my high school experience may have been a little amplified, so I wouldn't say it was worse, but it definitely made it harder. And to be frank with you, I actually was going through a really difficult time when they started production. I went away for 90 days, and I actually met tons of kids in this place that were talking about a lot of the issues that these characters are experiencing. I would say yes, I've had to deal with it on a different scale, whether it was just kids or growing up in the biggest high school in the world, which was Disney Channel. It was also adults that had the audacity to kind of tell me how I should live my life, and it was very confusing for me. It was so confusing. I had no idea who I was going to be, what I'm still going to become, and it definitely hits home. That's why I wanted to make sure that I was still a part of this project in any way, even though I would never let anybody take this away from me and my mom. But it hits a very important part in me, and I think this is what they need to see. Like, we're not gonna post things that are like, hey, be empowered, because that's not what they want to see. Unfortunately, kids don't care. They don't care. They have to see something that's going to shake them. They have to see something that's frightening and follow these people who are, they're going to instantly fall in love with these characters. I want them to understand it. I would do anything to be able to have a good influence on this generation, and it's hard, but I definitely relate to everything that was going on, and I was there for the last episode, and I was a mess just seeing it all come to life, because I've experienced just that, for sure.
Yep.
I hope so. I think the connection that I've had, whether I liked it or not, I did. A lot of people have watched me grow up, and I think I do feel like I have these conversations with my fans, because I've never really wanted to be the kind of unapproachable person. I never wanted to seem like I had it all together ever, and they tell me these things. I can't even tell you how many meet and greets. I mean, for the last tour I did, or all of my tours, I do a meet and greet before and after my show. And the stories that they tell me, they trust me with what they're going through, because I think they understand that I'm very honest, and whether I like it or not, people have seen a lot of my mistakes, and I had to use that as a good thing, because then they're able to trust me with that. I want to be a part of this because I think this is what they want, this is what they need. So I don't know. I mean, I guess I just really wanted to do something that I could be a part of, where people could relate to it, and I think kids really want that. They crave that. It's hard right now. Like, I can't stand social media. I can't stand what they're looking at. I can't stand what they think is reality. And this show is as real as it possibly could get.
As a mom, she'll laugh at the story, but she had a meet and greet, and there's this one girl that was like shaking and sobbing, and they all give you like notes or books or whatever, and she said, the only reason why I haven't killed myself is because I was going to meet you. And I got in trouble by the publicist too. I just ran out.
Because we sobbed and we got sad, and my mom decides to chase this person down, and now has her email, and they have a relationship.
And she started an anti suicide prevention, and she's in London, and she's married now with a child and happy. But I just went out and held her, and to hear the things she went through, that's all she wanted, was someone to hold her. And I probably held her, and she was just sobbing for 15 minutes in the lobby. And they want that, and a lot of people don't think that. They think they're afraid, but it's like that subtle thing is just paying attention. And
we're just so disconnected to people now. Mm-hmm. Like, the kids just want that, or teens, I shouldn't say kids, but that's what they're craving. They really want that. And it's hard when you're looking at something every single day. You're missing your entire life in front of you, and you think you have to look a certain way. There are 17-year-olds who look older than me. That freaks me out. I had like pigtails in my hair at 17. Like, it's a very real thing. That's why I am glad it took this long for us to create something like this, because we held out, I think, for something great.
Well, a perfect note to end on. It is great. Congratulations to all of you. And thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's so good. Yeah. That's so good.